Many thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this week's video. One of my favorite things to do on the weekend is to get up nice and early before anyone else in my household awakes. Just that way the house is really quiet, and brew a big pot of coffee and get comfortable on the couch or my favorite recliner and pull out my laptop or my iPad and catch up on a lot of the YouTube videos that I might have missed the prior week. I generally don't watch a lot of YouTube Monday through Friday. I try and reserve a lot of that time for the weekend. And I love to actually just kind of dig into YouTube and try and find those channels that are unique to me that I've never seen before. And YouTube, just like any other social platform out there, it's run by an algorithm that determines what you see versus what you don't see. And a lot of these algorithms will serve up to you or suggest to you the larger, more popular channels. So if you want to find something that might be a little bit unique or a little bit fresh to yourself, that takes a little bit of digging. But there's nothing better than when you actually find a video you like and you go to that photographer's channel page just to see what their channel is overall all about. And you watch another one of their videos, and before you know it, an hour has passed and you've watched 4, 5, maybe 6 of their videos. You subscribe to their channel, you ring the notification bell, and you begin following along on their journey. And that's the purpose of this week's video, is to discuss my new favorite landscape photography YouTube channels of 2019. Now, all the channels mentioned in this week's video, they're not in any particular order. I like the very first channel just as much as I like the very last channel I mentioned. So to jump right into it, the very first channel is by a lady by the name of Kim Grant. I believe she's based out of Scotland, and I've been following along with her, I think, since the midpoint of the year. And all the videos that I've seen, granted, I haven't watched every single video on her channel, but all the videos I have seen are kind of on location vlog style videos where she takes you along on her journey. But she has just a very authentic demeanor to herself. She has a very calming way of explaining things, and I find her videos to be very relaxing, and she just seems like a very real person. She's not putting on any kind of show for the camera or anything like that. Just a very relaxing. It's very easy to follow along and listen to her videos. So I've really enjoyed all the content that Kim Grant has been putting out this year. It's been absolutely fantastic. Now, this next gentleman has recently quit his full-time job. I'm not 100% sure exactly what he did, but I know he put a video out, I believe maybe 3 or 4 videos ago, talking about how he left his full-time career to pursue a career in landscape photography. And this gentleman's name is Henry Turner, and I believe he's based out of Northwest England. And his channel is kind of a mixed bag of a lot of different things. It's on-location vlog style videos. It's a gear review or gear tutorial or just kind of tips and tricks style of content. But he's just a very normal, seems like a very genuine guy who's just trying to turn his passion of landscape photography or his hobby of landscape photography into a full-time career. So I've really enjoyed kind of watching along and following along on Henry's journey throughout the year. Just once again, a lot like Kim's channel, it's just really easy to follow along, and I really enjoy those style of videos. Now, this next person is based out of Ontario, Canada. And what I love about her channel is, well, there's multiple things, but one thing, she always has great music in her channels. There's always at least one good track in almost every one of her videos. And her name is Rachel Lurch. And I could be saying your last name wrong, Rachel. And if I am, I apologize. And I could be butchering some of these names, and I definitely don't mean to. I'm going to try and pronounce them as best as I can. But Rachel's channel she seems to travel to local spots. She's not going to the Faroe Islands or Iceland or Antarctica or any of these kind of epic locations. It's almost every one of her videos take you along on a trip to what feels like a local park, whether it's a state park or a county park or like a neighborhood park. And I think it's really cool because I think it's something that a lot of us struggle. When you first get into landscape photography, I feel like you shoot your local area a lot. But then you get to a point where you think you shot it to death, and then you start traveling areas to different locations to shoot. But then when you're back in your hometown and you're not traveling, you seem to not want to shoot those local areas anymore because you just feel like you've done it 100 times and you have to travel anywhere to get any kind of great shots. And it's something that I'm trying to get away from. I'm trying to shoot a little bit more local, but I feel like Rachel's channel, and I could be completely off base, but it seems like most of the places she goes to is within just a few hours drive from her house. And I think that's really cool. And her channel is just an absolute breath of fresh air to check out. And it's nice and enjoyable to watch her channel grow. Now, this next gentleman is based out of Dorset, I think, Dorset, England, and his name is Ben Kapur. And his channel I just discovered within the last couple of months, and majority of it's on location vlog style videos. And I want to say he seems to be more of a seascape photographer versus a landscape photographer, or I shouldn't say it like that. Most of the videos that I have seen he's been on location shooting seascapes. And his videos, he really takes his time with his videos. He's really kind of digs into not only the settings that he's using, but like why he's using certain settings, why he's using certain filters, what he's hoping from a condition perspective to achieve, what's the overall vision of the photograph he's going for. And he's really good at taking his time in a very methodical approach and explaining to his audience exactly what his goal is from taking this actual photograph. And I find his videos to be, a lot like Kim's videos. They're just a very calming, relaxing quality to them. So definitely check out Ben's channel as well. There's a lot of great content there. Now this next channel, this is an interesting one. I've been following along on this channel throughout the entire year. And it's really evolved, and it's interesting because it originally started out with one gentleman. And then a few months into the year, I feel like that it was, I'm not sure exactly how many months, but a few months had passed. And then a woman just started to join in a lot of his videos. So it was them two together, and almost every single video since then, it was them together. And it was really fun interacting. And I remember watching their channel grow, and I was like, I wonder if this is the girlfriend or if this is a wife or exactly what's going on here. But the channel name is Pereira, and I could be saying it wrong. If I am, I apologize. Pereira Photography, and it's run by Mike and Chris Pereira. And they just got married just recently. So, and they're two fantastic photographers, fantastic people. I've spoken to them both many times over Instagram. And they're just very real, down-to-earth, genuine people. And the majority of the content on their channel is on-location, vlog-style based content. But every video has a very clear tutorial message to it. There's always a very clear purpose of what's kind of the tutorial purpose of this on-location video, and I really appreciate that. So their channel is absolutely fantastic. Mike and Chris do a great job, and it was just really cool watching their channel throughout the year start out just with Mike, and then Chris joins, and then they get married, and now they changed their channel name to Pereira Photography. Just a really cool story, so I really enjoyed watching along, following along in their journey as well. Now this next channel, you might know this gentleman. He is one of the best astrophotographers that I know of, and his knowledge of all things night sky related is absolutely off the charts. The guy is an absolute Jedi when it comes to anything related to astrophotography, and his name is Alan Wallace. He's based out of Wales, and he is just an absolute amazing night sky photographer, astrophotographer, and I really appreciate astro work because mainly I don't do a whole lot of it. I struggle with it a little bit. I find it to be kind of difficult, but I absolutely love that type of photography, and I can really appreciate all the complexities that are associated with pulling off a fantastic astro image. He runs a series on his YouTube channel. I believe it's called What's in a Night Sky, and I think it's a monthly episode that he puts out, and it's all about what you can photograph in the sky in that particular month, depending on where you are in the world. So you can not only pick up a ton of great astrophotography tips from his channel, you can also pick up just a lot of tips on what's just going on in the galaxies with the stars and the planets, and just all, I don't know, all kinds of stuff up there. But his channel is an absolute wealth of night sky and just general photography knowledge. Now, this next gentleman, he doesn't put out a ton of content. I'm not sure exactly. I don't think he's on any particular schedule, but I just kind of randomly see a new video from him every once in a while. But when I do see a notification from this gentleman, I absolutely jump all over that video to check it out. And his name is Nick Carver. He is based out of Orange County, California, and he's predominantly a medium to large format film photographer. And this guy is... Not only is he just, he's a super entertaining guy, he's pretty funny too, and he's got a very interesting style of humor. It's kind of dry humor a little bit, but he's a lot of fun to watch. But this guy is an absolute wizard when it comes to all things related to film photography. He's always shooting with different kinds of medium and large format types of cameras that I've never even heard of or seen. but he has his amount of knowledge that he has with regards to film photography is really off the charts. And although I don't do anything with film photography, when I am trying to get a little bit of a film fix, I definitely like to jump over to his channel and just watch some of his videos. The majority of his stuff is based, or not based, it's desert scapes, which I think is usually, I'm trying to think back, I don't think I've seen a video of his that wasn't shot in the desert, but nevertheless, his channel is absolutely fantastic, so definitely check that out as well. Now, this next gentleman, he also recently left his full-time job. He and I don't recall exactly, I think it was something in IT, information technology field. I could be completely wrong, but I know he worked like an hour or so away from his hometown, and he was away from his wife for the majority of the week. And then on the weekends he would come home, spend time with her and his family, and then on the weekends he would go out in the Lake District and shoot a video, and then edit it and upload it. And then he would go back to his job, stay there all week, and come back. And that was kind of his schedule for a big portion of the year. And up until a few months ago, he had left that job to move. No, I shouldn't say move, but to spend the majority of his time with his wife and family in the Lake District and really focus on turning his passion of landscape photography into a career. And his name is Chris Sale, and almost all his videos are on-location videos based in the Lake District. And I've spoken to him too quite a bit over Instagram over the year, and just a fantastic guy. I actually discovered his channel towards the end of 2018, but very, very genuine guy. And what I really appreciate about Chris is he is trying to improve his photography, much like we all are, but he doesn't go out there and try and act like or portray that he knows everything about photography. He's literally trying to improve on his photography constantly, and he wants to try and take his audience along on that journey with him to hopefully try and help them improve any particular part of their photography as well. So I think that's really cool what he's doing with his channel. But Chris Sale is an absolutely fantastic channel to watch as well. I think he uploads every Tuesday, so he's on a weekly schedule. Pereira Photography is also, I think, on a weekly schedule where I believe they upload every Monday as well. Now, this last gentleman, and last and certainly not least, I absolutely love his channel. I'd recently discovered him this year, and he's based out of Tennessee, and his name is David Johnston. Super, super nice guy. His channel is kind of a mix of everything. He talks about gear. He does on-location vlog-style videos. He shares a ton of education and tutorial-based content with his audience. He also runs a newly launched landscape photography show podcast. I think that's what it's called. He's had some absolutely incredible guests on that show, including Joshua Cripps recently, Aaron Bobnick. So if you're looking if you're into podcasts, definitely check that out as well. But he's just a super nice guy, very genuine, and freely shares a lot of his education based around photography with his audience, and there's always some great tips and information you can find from any of his videos. So those are 9 of my favorite landscape photography YouTube channels that I recently discovered in 2019. And before I wrap up the video, I do want to touch upon the sponsor of this week's video, which is Squarespace, who I use for all of my website needs. Squarespace gives folks a powerful and beautiful online platform from which to create your website. With Squarespace's traffic overview feature, you can easily track trends in your page visits and views that'll enable you to better optimize your content. There's also a handy email feature that'll help you create emails that stand out and also unify your message across your website and brand emails, and even allows you to schedule posts for the future rather than you having to post them yourself at a specific time. So if you're looking to start a new website, go to squarespace.com/Mark Denney for a free trial and to get 10% off your first purchase. So I really hope you enjoyed this week's video, and I hope you're able to pick up a couple new channels that you might want to check out when you have some downtime over the holiday season coming up. And if you have any questions about any of these channels, I'll put the links to all of them down below so you can check them out. Any questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I guarantee I will get back in touch with you. And as always, I really do appreciate you watching this week's video, and I'll see you next week. Bye.